Good morning everyone. Welcome back to the class of mathematics. This is revision lecture of chapter 3 data handling for the students of class 7. In this lecture we are going to revise all the concepts that we have learned in chapter 3 data handling. So topics to be covered in this lecture are: first we will discuss main concepts and results of chapter 3, and then I will provide you the assignment of chapter 3, that is data handling. So let us start with main concepts and results. First point we have is about data. The information collected in the form of numbers is data. Any information that we are collecting in the form of numbers is considered as your data. Suppose you are collecting the heights of 10 students in your class. So the height can be collected in the form of numbers. So that is known as data. Okay, so the information collected in the form of numbers is data. Next is data is organized and represented graphically so that it becomes easy to understand and interpret. So after collecting, the data must be organized, and data must be organized in such a way so that it becomes easy to understand. So in after collecting, data is organized and represented graphically. Graphically means through graph we can represent the data so that it becomes easy to understand, and interpret means we can find the conclusion from that data. Now, the difference between the highest and lowest observations. The data we have collected in the form of numbers, and each number is known as its observation. So the difference between the highest and the lowest observations in a given data is called its range. It is the difference between maximum and minimum, or you can say highest and lowest observations. So next one is the average, or you can say arithmetic mean, or simply mean. Okay, average, or you can say arithmetic mean or simply mean of a given data is defined as, so mean can be calculated by using the formula sum of all observations divided by number of observations. This we have learned many times, that how you calculate mean, that is given by the formula sum of all observations divided by number of observations. This you have learned also, that how you will calculate mean. Using this formula you can calculate the mean. After that we have learned about mode. Mode is the observation that occurs frequently in the data, or you can say maximum occurring, or you can say most occurring observation. The observation which is coming maximum number of times, that is your mode. So mode is the observation that occurs frequently in the data. Next point is, if each of the values in a data are occurring one time or equal number of times, then all are mode. All the observations are considered as mode. The statement is saying, if each of the values in a data are occurring one time or equal number of times, then all are mode. So this is not necessary that in a data we have only one mode. It may be more than one. Okay. So sometimes we also say that this data has no mode since none of them is occurring frequently. If none of the observation is occurring more than one time, then you can say that, sometimes we can say that data has no mode since none of them is occurring frequently. Okay, this is about mode. So next one is, when the given data is arranged in ascending, or you can say descending order, then the middlemost observation is the median of the data. This also we have learned that how to find median. First you have to arrange the data in ascending order, then the middlemost observation is median of the data. So we have learned about two cases in median. First one, when the number of observations are odd. Okay, odd means the odd number means the numbers which are not divisible by 2. So odd 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on, these are our odd numbers. So when the number of observations are odd, then how you will calculate median? That is given by the formula n plus 1 by 2th observation. This will give you the median. Okay, n plus 1 by 2, this observation will give you the median. Now second case, when the number of observations are even, then how you will calculate median? Then median can be calculated by using this formula, n by 2th observation plus n by 2 plus 1th observation whole divided by 2. So in case of odd, we have the middlemost observation is our median, and when the number of observations are even, we have two middlemost observation. Okay, for median you have to find the average of those two observation, or you can say you have to find the mean of those two observation. Now one more thing I want to discuss, that this and this, they both are different. Okay, first you have to add them and then divide. When you have the number of observations are odd, then you have to add them first and divide it by 2. In this case you have to divide first and then add. Okay, this is the difference. So for whenever you have odd number of observations, median can be calculated by n plus 1 by 2th observation. This observation will give you the median. And when number of observations are even, then median can be calculated by n by 2th observation plus n by 2 plus 1th observation whole divided by 2. So this is how you can calculate median, and median is the middlemost observation. After that, mean, median and mode are the representative values of a group of observations. So these are known as representative values of a group of observations. They are also called the measures of central tendency, because mean, median and mode always lies between the maximum and the minimum observation. That's why they are known as measures of central tendency, and they are also representative values of a group of observations. Then we have learned about the representation of data through graph. In that we have learned about bar graph and double bar graph. So let us start with bar graph. The representation of the data in the form of rectangles, or you can say bars, of uniform width is called the bar graph. So this is how to represent the data in the form of bars or of uniform width. So that is known as bar graph. After that we have learned about double bar graph. Double bar graph can be used to compare informations related to two data. Okay, so basically double bar graph can be used to compare the informations that are related to two data. Okay, now the situation. After that we have learned about the probability. The situation that may or may not happen, have a chance of happening. So the situations which are doubtful, or you can say may or may not happen, we are not sure about its happening, that have a chance of happening. The situation that may or may not happen, have a chance of happening. In this we have learnt about probability. Probability is the happening of an event. Same we have discussed, that the situation that may or may not have a chance of happening means have a probability lying between 0 and 1. The probability of an event which is certain to happen is 1. Certain to happen means which are sure. So the probability of an event which is certain to happen is 1, or you can say the probability of sure event is always 1. Then probability of an event which is impossible to happen is 0, and the event that may or may not happen, that event's probability lies between 0 and 1. 0 is the probability of an impossible event and 1 is the probability of the event which is certain to happen. After that, we have learned how to calculate probability. So probability of an event, this how you will read: probability of an event is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. So how you will find the probability? That is given by the formula number of favorable outcomes over total number of possible outcomes. So this is all about the chapter number 3, data handling. We have learned important topics in that, and related to those topics I have prepared the assignment for you. So the assignment of chapter number 3, data handling, you have is question number 1. This is fill in the blanks. You have given 5 parts. Only you have to write the solution. Only you have to write the answers in your notebook, as I have taken these questions from your exemplar book. Okay. So first one is the difference between the highest and the lowest observation of data is called dash. Second one, the median of any data lies between dash and dash observations. Third fill up is median is one of the observations in the data if number of observations is dash. Fourth part you have is in throwing a dice, the number of possible outcomes is dash. Fifth, if the arithmetic mean of 8, 4, x, 6, 2, 5, 7 is 5, then the value of x is. This is a different type of question. Try to solve it. Otherwise, I will provide you the solution in next lecture. Okay. So if the arithmetic mean of 8, 4, x, 6, 2, 7 is 5, then the value of x is dash. So these are the 5 parts of question number 1. Now come to question number 2. Question number 2 you are having is calculate the mean, median and mode of the following data. This data is given, you have to find mean, median and mode, and after that you have to tell are these 3 equal. And these questions, in every question you have to write the formula, you have to solve the questions according to the steps. Now question number 3, following cards are put facing down. These are the cards we are having, and you have to find the probability of drawing out. A part you have is a vowel, second a card marked U, and third a consonant. Again I am repeating, you have to write each and every step while solving the questions of data handling. So come to question number 4. Find the median of first 9 even natural numbers. You have to find the median of first 9 natural numbers. Then question number 5. This is a very important question. I have covered all the concepts in this question. The marks in a subject for 12 students. Here the number of observations are even. The marks obtained for 12 students are as follows. These are the marks obtained by 12 students. In this question you have to find, first you have to find the range, then mean, then median and then mode. Here as the number of observations are even, you have to apply the formula. You have to apply the formula for median, which is of second type when the number of observations are even. Okay, do them carefully. This is question number 5. Question number 6 you are having is give answers in one word. Again I am repeating, no need to write the questions, only you have to write the answers, as I have taken all the questions from your exemplar book. So no need to write the questions. Questions are already with you. Question number 6. Give answers in one word. What is the probability of the sun setting tomorrow? This you have to find the probability of sun setting tomorrow. This is a case given, event given. Second one, classify the events as certain to happen. Certain to happen means for sure they will happen. Then impossible to happen, may or may not happen. So we have two parts in this question. A is today moon will not revolve around the sun. B part we are having is getting head when a coin is tossed. In this you have to classify the events as certain to happen, impossible to happen, and may or may not happen. Now third part of question number 6 you are having is find the probability of the spinning arrow showing in the shaded region. This is showing. Okay, find the probability of the spinning arrow showing in the shaded region. So we have this arrow and you have to find the probability that this spinning arrow will show shaded part. We have two shaded part and this you have to do. Okay, come to fourth part. If x, y and z are the three observations, then find the mean. You have to give your answers in one word only. Then fifth part, write formulas for finding range, mean, median. You have to write formula for both the cases. Then mode and probability. You have to write the formula of these 5 concepts. After that, your homework is solve the given assignment in your homework notebook. This time you have to solve the assignment in your homework notebook. Okay, you have to do all the questions. In question number 1 and the last question, no need to write the questions, only you have to write the answers. So this is all about the summary lecture. What we have learned, we have revised all the previous concept that we have learned. So this is the completion of the chapter. After this assignment, on the next day I will provide you the assignment solution, and on Saturday you have the test of this chapter and that will be of 25 marks. So be prepared, learn the formulas, and all the very best to you. Thank you very much.